scares us just thinking about it. When you hear it, you're gonna think we're insane.
Try us. Please, from the start.
This movie is a Macy's Day Parade of bullshit. You know those really bad comedies? Where it's just every joke you've ever heard of, and they just do every gag, and you've seen them all before. That's what The Conjuring does, but with horror elements. They just do everything. Everything that you could think of being in like a horror movie, they do it. Dolls come to life, stuff moves by itself. Okay, so the movie starts with a bunch of people talking to the Warrens about Annabelle. Annabelle is a creepy looking weird doll that they have for some reason. Why do they have it? Ed Warren is a self-taught demonologist, and Lorraine Warren is a clairvoyant. So they say Annabelle the doll is moving around on her own, and they find her in different rooms than they left her in.
A hand or a leg was in a different position, and its head was looking up instead of down, and
Ed asks if maybe somebody has a key to the apartment and is playing a trick on them.
never once did we find any sign or evidence of intrusion.
But the doll is the sign, right? Like the doll being in a different place, that's the evidence that somebody came in there. It's a doll. If they're playing a trick on you, and the trick is to make you think that the doll is moving around on its own, then they're probably not going to leave any sign of intrusion. Lorraine says, and all this led you to believe that the doll was possessed? And the girl says, yes.
And this all led you to believe that the doll was possessed?
Yes.
You find the doll in a different place than you left it, and you think it's possessed? So the people say that they got a medium. And the medium says
We learned from her that a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins had died in this apartment.
that there's a ghost of a 7-year-old girl who died in the apartment, and she was lonely and took a liking to the doll.
When we heard this, we felt really sorry for her. I mean, we're nurses. We help people.
Then the woman says,
We gave her permission to move into the doll.
Wait. You did what?
what the fuck? Where's the rest of that story? A medium tells you that there's a little dead girl in your apartment who likes a doll, and you give her permission to live in the doll? Then the other lady says, but then things got worse. Worse than the doll moving around? I don't know. Then we get a flashback. It's the two women coming home. They're opening the door, they're laughing, and then they get real quiet because they find a note, and it says, "Miss me?" written in red crayon. They see Annabelle sitting in the hallway with some red crayons, and they're freaked out because they left her in the spare room.
When we came home, she was sitting in the hallway, but we had left her in the spare room.
Why are they freaked out? This is after the medium already told them the reason the doll is moving around by itself is because your apartment has a dead 7-year-old girl in it who likes playing with the doll. So that's no big deal. And then they said she could live in the doll. So if they come home and they see the doll sitting in the hallway, that's just like coming home and finding a kid in the hallway, right? If anything, they should be freaked out if it doesn't move. So they go into the spare room, and there's red crayon all over the walls. And it's not drawings or anything like you'd expect from a 7-year-old. It's just long, scribbly lines. Stuff is knocked over. There's a flickering lamp on the ground. The crayon goes up to the ceiling. And on the ceiling, it says, "Miss me?" Just like on the note. So they should just be mad because it's a little girl. And they should just be like, that wasn't cool. You're not supposed to do that. Don't do that again. Instead, Debbie, the one that owns the doll, who she thinks a little girl is inhabiting, she takes the doll and she throws it in the dumpster.
We're nurses. We help people.
Cut to later that night. The two women wake up to pounding on their door. They're both wearing pajamas like they're 6 years old. They don't say anything to each other, which is weird. They don't say who's there. They don't say anything. And there's no way a doll pounds that hard. They're supposed to believe it's a 7-year-old living in a doll pounding on the door. So Debbie answers the door, and it's just the "Miss Me" note. Just then, there's a pounding on the door in the hallway. They still exchange no words. The woman in the hallway, standing next to the door that just pounded right next to her, she opens the door. Again, without saying anything to each other, without running out of the apartment screaming, she opens the door, and then she gasps. Okay, flashback over. Now we're back talking to the Warrens. She says, "We don't know what's going on or what to do, but you just told them what's going on, which is what you should be doing." Ed says, "We can help. First of all, there was no little girl named Annabelle."
Firstly, there's no such thing as Annabelle. and there never was.
Ghosts don't possess such power. I think what we have here is something extremely manipulative.
If it was manipulative, wouldn't it pretend to be like a good 7-year-old kid? And try to win you over and get you to do stuff? Why would it misbehave? Ed says, it was a big mistake acknowledging that doll. Acknowledging.
Through that, the inhuman spirit tricked you. You gave it permission to infest your lives.
The blonde woman says, what's an inhuman spirit? Well, you're talking to 2 demonologists. What do you think it is? Ed says, it's something that's never walked the earth in human form. It's something demonic. They go on to say that the doll isn't possessed because demons possess people, not things.
Demonic spirits don't possess things. They possess people.
It just moved around to give the impression of possession, and that what it really wanted was to possess one of the women.
So the doll was never possessed.
No, it was used as a conduit.
Then why would it want to give the impression of possession? Why would it want to give the impression of a 7-year-old ghost girl? So then it shows Annabelle again, and she's all fucked up looking. Why would Debbie have that? Not just because she's a grown woman who moved into an apartment with her friend and decided to bring her doll. Why would she have that doll? It's not a comforting doll by any means. So then it cuts to Ed and Lorraine, and it's like a seminar. They're speaking to a whole auditorium of people. And everything that we just saw was a story that they were recounting to all these people. So it was like a flashback where one of the characters that isn't one of the people telling the story has a flashback. Ed is like, we got a priest to perform a blessing on the apartment and the occupants. So whatever was oppressing that apartment is no longer with them. They don't say why that works, but okay, that was easy. He says, any questions? Like 100 people raise their hand. He selects one of them just vaguely, then suddenly everyone's hands are down.
Yes.
Where's the doll now?
The person asks where Annabelle is now, and Lorraine says,
Someplace safe.
and then text comes on the screen and it says since the 1960s, they've been known as the world's most renowned paranormal investigators. Lorraine is a gifted clairvoyant, and Ed is the only non-ordained demonologist recognized by the Catholic Church. That part is in real life. That's a real thing. Okay, so then we cut to 1971. Harrisville, Rhode Island. And there's a family pulling up to their house. And it's not important, but they're all singing John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Here we are.
Which is a song that repeats. How long were they singing that for? So the family is a mom and a dad, 5 kids, all girls, and a dog. So as they're moving in, their dog won't go into the house. This doesn't alarm any of them. They don't even really notice.
All right, suit yourself.
Then we hear one of the kids saying,
Where's my wind chime? Have you seen my wind chime? Hey, Mom, can I get my wind chime?
do you think the wind chime might come up later? The little sister says, hey, look what I found. It's a music box with a mirror in it. I wonder if that'll come up later. 2 of the girls are spinning a third girl who is blindfolded. She's supposed to keep spinning while counting to 10, and then try to find her sisters while still blindfolded. She hilariously spins into a piece of furniture.
7.
She says, okay, clap.
Okay, clap.
So the blindfolded one is going to find them by using echolocation. Then she trips over a fucking box. Mom says, you don't know the house well enough. Someone's gonna get hurt. Yeah, or some stuff's gonna get broken. It's a terrible game. The blindfolded girl says second clap, and this part was confusing because the second clap sounds like it comes from right behind her, and right behind her is one of her sisters. But apparently this one, like, fake claps, because the mom is like, that's cheating, and she's like, shut the fuck up. So the clap that sounded like it came from right behind her wasn't that sister. So the blindfolded one turns around, because she also heard the clap coming from right behind her, and then she finds a doorknob in this new house that they haven't lived in before. So she opens the door and it's a closet, and the other sister is in there. Then the blindfolded girl says, clap, real confidently.
Clap.
Like, you're fucking busted. The hiding sister claps, and the blindfolded one inexplicably lunges forward with her hands out while yelling, got you, and she shoves her sister into the wall, breaking it.
Gotcha! Okay.
Do you know what you don't see a lot of blind people do? Take sudden leaps. So I guess it's like blindfolded hide-and-seek tag. The dad says, all right, what did we break now?
All right, what do we break now?
My fault.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
and it's one board knocked out of place in a closet in their piece of shit house. If he replaces it with a new board, the new board will be the nicest part of the whole house. But you can see that there's a space behind these boards. So the dad asks the kids to go get him some matches. As he's looking in, the other boards just start to come off, like fall out of place. The mom shows up and the dad tells her, "I think we have a cellar." The kid returns with the matches, and all the boards are just gone, like they were just stacked there. Not nailed. So the dad lights a match, and he's gonna go down into the cellar. And he's walking through a disgusting amount of cobwebs. And I don't know, dude, maybe it's blocked off for a reason. Maybe there's mold down there. Maybe the stairs are broken. Somebody boarded it off. The mom asks what's down there.
It's an old piano and a whole bunch of garbage.
So totally worth it. He comes back up and he says to the mom, "I'll check it out in the morning." That's all that needed to happen in the first place. We didn't even get anything out of it as viewers. Like, nothing scary happened. They could have just cut to him being like, "I'll check it out in the morning." It would have left some mystery at least.
Something's up with Sadie. What did you do to me last night?
Ouch. I didn't do that, did I?
There's cobwebs all over, so clearly no one else has gone down there for a long time. So you should probably wait